So today I like to talk about a specific topic before we start the session. Most of the people that come to us for help with Zoho CRM or automations in general, they will try to patch their system. And let me explain. So let's assume that I have my system and the business owner or the person that we work with will try to have a small fix. He will just try to fix, whenever a lead is being lost, he like to have the reason for the lead being lost. And that will be a small patch. And then a week after, another small patch in a different module. But the main problem is almost all the people that we work with do not have a clear path. They just don't see their entire system from the lead all the way to a closed quote or a closed won deal. They don't see the entire process. And I think that's a big problem. It's, when you're planning, let's say, your professional career, at some point you will say, you know what, I want to be a lawyer. And you will think about, okay, so first I need to finish my high school, and then I need to finish, the bachelor degree, and then master's, and then I will need to have another 1 year of working in a legal services location to become a lawyer. So you have your path, you know what you want to do. CRM is exactly the same thing. When you have a website, you know how many pages you want, what will be the pages names before you even start working on the website, hopefully, right? Hopefully. The CRM will be the same. And going into the journey of having a CRM before you know what you want to do with it, this is a scary ride. So I really want you to think about your CRM journey as something that you need to plan before you started. And you need to know which fields will be in the CRM, and when the lead, for example, is converted to a contact, which fields will get carried over. And when you have your opportunity, how many pipelines you're going to have, which stages will be on the pipelines. Basically, if you take my Zoho CRM course and you follow it, you will know what is expected of you in terms of the CRM. So based on the course, just start to create a list of all the things that you should have in your system. And based on that, the execution will start. And the execution is probably the easiest part of the entire journey. There is nothing easier than executing, a set of drag and drop commands. It's like building an IKEA furniture versus inventing an IKEA furniture. So I really want you to try to consider architecting your solution before you jumping into your CRM and starting to patch it, because it will be a never-ending story. You will always need to patch your CRM versus designing it one time, be happy with it, show it to your team members, have their buy-in, and then in few hours, just drag and drop and create your solution. And maybe sometimes you will need small help from a developer, and that's it. So that's what I wanted to tell you today. I just see too many people patching their systems, and it's never ending. We always see the same people coming with small changes, and it's never ending, right? So again.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Very good. Very good. Thank you.
So I was hoping I would be, am I able to share my screen?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so in our CRM, we're an events-based company, so we can have a couple people register. So, let's say we have the first registrant's information here, then we have the second and third person.
Mhm.
So we've created this lookup field so that if we want to go to this person's record, we can. So
But why did you create it this way? Why won't you have the participants as people assigned to the event, the same way that you have a deal?
So we do have them all assigned to a deal,
Okay.
but separate deals. So each one of these people have their own records because we need to respond to them separately. But we need to be able to see who's all together on one record or on all the records.
Okay.
So what I was trying to ask you, and you could just tell me if it's a better way to do it, or you can answer this question. We'd like it to show up like this instead of having the associate have to go look for it.
Okay.
They could just click here and it would take it to this person's client record.
Mm-hmm. What's the question?
How do we get it to show up as this clickable link without having to actually go and look it up? Like how to just show up as a related list.
In that case, you will need to have in the contact, you will need to have a lookup to the event, and then it will be the same way like you have in the deals.
Okay.
I'm just not sure exactly what is the question. I see that you have different.
I had to look this up. I had to go click on it to find the record.
That's right.
I don't want to do that. I want it to just show up to where we could just click, it's here as a clickable link. So remove the step of having to look it up.
But that's a lookup. This is how the system works, right? Because a lookup is supposed to connect you between modules. I don't know of other way in Zoho that you can link. One way that you can do it, but still you will need to have some kind of a lookup for it, is to create a link. So a URL field that will, once you click on it, will take you, but same thing.
Oh, okay. All right. And then my second question, you last week or a couple of weeks ago, you mentioned you could have deals that after the close one, it would have stages after that. And so we like that idea and just wanted to know those stages that come after close one, are we just marking those as omit, or how are we considering those stages within the pipeline? Because I don't think they're open anymore.
The omit or open is just will affect the reporting.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to omit it, it means it will just not be in the report as part of your open deal cycle. What you can also do, you can create another pipeline. So one pipeline will be your sales, and on close one, it will jump to a second pipeline, and that will be the delivery.
Okay.
And there you will have different stages for the deal, and that will be just for the delivery stage.
Okay, that's how we originally had it. And then when you mentioned that suggestion, we were just trying it out because it seemed beneficial to just, be able to get
F1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can do that and you can make it open or omit as long as it's 100% closed. That's fine. It's still considered as a closed deal.
Okay.
That's
right.
fine.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a good one. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Is your name Orusa? Am I saying it correctly?
That's right, Orusa.
That's great.
Okay, perfect. So we started using Zoho, our company, about 6 months ago. And, we like been using the basics, and I've been trying to learn from your YouTube videos and things like that, deal closes, this happens, etc. But the problem is we're not as efficient as we can be. So when a lead comes in and after a month, like our product, it's something that takes an average of 3 to 6 months for a customer to decide if they want to buy it or not. So it's not something that you just call them and, so like follow-ups and things as such and all those things, making our Zoho and everything more effective for the sales team and things like that. We needed some guidance and help with that. And like, improving our blueprint where like, like an example that I have is, how you spoke about one of your videos that when a lead comes in, contact it in the first 15 minutes and things like that. Those kind of things which can make our whole process more effective because we've got the basics there, but we just don't know how to make the best out of it. So we wanted to know what could be done, if you can come in as a consultant or how would that work?
Yeah, so it's or me or a business consultant, but not a Zoho developer. They cannot help you. The idea is to start and create some kind of a journey.
Yeah.
Just put it like that. The idea is to try to put some kind of a journey for your sales cycle. So let's say that here a lead was created. Okay, and then the next step, again, I don't really know your process, right? But you just start to create here the different lead sources, and you start to create some kind of a journey that when a lead comes in, if, for example, it's coming from Facebook, it will automatically create it in CRM. You will get a message after 30 minutes, and then it needs to notify a specific salesperson that is handling social media leads. And you just start to create your 6 months journey. And once you have it in a platform like Draw.io or Lucidchart, it doesn't really matter. But the idea is to have those step-by-step approach of everything that you have in your sales cycle. Only then you start to apply different automations, and only then you apply it on Zoho CRM. But much before that, you need to have, again, it can be us or a different company, but there need to be a business consultant that will ask you many questions to produce something like that.
Okay.
That's the idea.
Okay, so for us, like if I want to be with you, right? So could we arrange like a session, like a start of session, so we can give you a brief on what we do and things as such, and you can see how much you can help, so you can see how much work we've got done as well?
Sure. If you go to our website, I will put it in the chat. You can go to the contact section and you can just book a 15 minutes consultation, and that's it. That's how the best to start. And
that will be individual?
Excuse me?
And that will be like individual, like one-on-one?
Yeah. That's just a sales meeting, right? It's not a...
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
No problem. How are you, Michael?
Yeah, fantastic. Nice to be chatting to you again, and thanks so much for hosting the session.
Of course, absolutely.
And I owe you some stuff still that I haven't done for you, but I'll get to it this week.
It's all good. Whenever you have time, no pressure.
Your quick question. So in my accounts module, I've created my retail units names.
Those will be your clients, right?
Yeah, look, so I'm using the accounts module for my retail unit.
Yes.
That are the actual brick and mortar stores.
Yes.
And let's say I've called them QPS Queenswood and QPS Waverley. I've got and then in a form, I've created a drop down so that if a staff member wants to create a support ticket, in the form they select the unit that they're part of.
In the form, you mean this form, right?
No, the form that I'm actually in Zoho Forms.
Okay.
Right. So let me just explain the whole problem.
Okay.
So they use the form to raise a ticket for, let's say, a plumbing problem or an electrical problem or whatever the case is.
Okay.
And however, it goes into the support desk, and in the support desk, I can see that it's captured that field in the ticket, the company name field from the drop down.
Yes.
But it doesn't seem to link it nicely with CRM. Because if I go to the CRM and I go to that particular company record that I've created,
you do not see it here on the Zodesk integration.
Yeah, man, that's exactly it.
So, and what about other tickets that are being created? Are they linked properly?
I haven't looked at others because we're only using contacts for that. It's the first time I'm using entity or an account, shall we say.
What I can recommend you, let me log out from this account. Let me go to a different one and I will show you where to look.
You see, on that form, I've created all the brick and mortar sites so that they select which site and I was hoping that would then push into
it will push.
And then into CRM.
It will push, and I have also some suggestions for you.
Okay.
So first of all, if you go to the marketplace and you go to Zo, you will see the Zodesk integration.
Yes. Yeah.
And in the Zo integration, you're supposed to see here that under the accounts, you have a checkbox.
Yeah. Yes,
okay.
I do have that. Yeah.
You do have it. This is number one. Number two, in Zodesk, you will see when the ticket is being created, do you see the account like that?
Yes, I see that. But in the actual CRM, I don't see it. I get to, yeah.
But in Zodesk, you see it properly.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
In your Zo integration, your Zo CRM integration, let me just go there.
I'm actually checking it while we're on the line.
Sure. If you click here on configure, there's the this one. So for the accounts, do you have two-way or one-way sync?
I've got two-way sync switched on.
The only thing that comes to my mind,
so I pick it up from a. You see, so I pick it up from a form that's got a drop-down list.
The form is irrelevant because the form is sending the information to desk. Now, if the ticket would not have the information, you wouldn't see it like that. So this is the CRM integration.
But then on the CRM record, I just don't see in the record, the desk tickets.
You see it in the contact, but not in the account, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Nah, that's not supposed to happen. If you see the person name, the contact here, and below that you see the account name, that should sync back to CRM. Because this is the CRM integration.
Yeah. So I see it under the contact record, but not under the accounts record.
If you go to your CRM, you search for this person.
Yeah.
Okay, you search for this person. On the contact on the left side, you see in Zodesk, you see the tickets, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. If you scroll up and you go to the account name, you click on the account name, you're saying that you do not see the Zodesk tickets.
I don't. No.
Yeah, or check with support or send us an email and we will connect you with partner support and check it out. Doesn't
Thank
make
you very
sense.
much. Yeah, I thought as much.
Yeah, your thought process, everything is perfect. It's just the execution, something on Zo's side.
Okay, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you're good, my friend.
Thank you very much. Ciao.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. How are you, Jan?
Much better. How are you?
Very good.
Good. One comment I put in the questions as well that lesson 13 is not working properly in the CRM training.
Which platform?
I'm using Chrome. So
No, but are you in Udemy, Teachable?
I'm not sure. I think it's Teachable. Yeah, I think it's Teachable.
Okay, I will check it out. Thank you very much
Yeah.
for letting me know.
Just a quick comment there. So
thank you.
I think that's a very important lesson because
It's very important.
I tried to move to the next lesson and it didn't give me the it was assuming that I already knew some things that I don't in terms of probably because of or in terms of using Click. So
where did you get stuck? So I can help you right now.
I'm just setting up my Click account.
Yes.
And when I started it gave me the wizard says, "Hey, do you want to do you want to configure?" I said no. So now I have to configure manually.
So let me help you with that.
Okay, great.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Try to do it with me.
Yeah,
the Click configuration is very tricky because sometimes it works, sometimes not.
Yeah,
there is
no. That.
Yes. So click on the settings on the top.
Okay, so I already have Click integrated with CRM, but if you want, we can go through that.
So wait, if you go to Marketplace, you click on all, and then you go to Installed. Do you see Zo Click for CRM?
I've already got it installed, so yes.
Okay, if you go to your settings and you go to a new workflow rule, okay, do you have as part of your options also notify via Click?
Yes.
Okay, so you're good to go. So where are you stuck?
In the setup of Click itself.
There is nothing to set up. You can ignore those 5 steps.
All right, never mind then.
It's all good. If you have that, notify via Click, you're good.
Okay. Yeah. I've got it. When I first set it up, it went through the workflow, and let me just find where I was. Workflows. When I set up a new workflow rule, I created for leads, and then I created a rule name. So I'm just going to say test, and then it created the lead. I put in when do I want to execute this rule on record action.
So let me just do it with you, so everybody can see what we're doing.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we have the leads module. This is the workflow.
Yes.
And then what we're doing here?
Hold on, I got to get back to it.
You can look at your screen and just tell me what you see.
Sure. Yeah, you can share my screen.
You want to share your screen?
Sure. It makes it easier. All right. So we're at the CRM, and we're going to create a workflow.
Yes.
Right. In leads. And then, so this is pretty much following along with what you're talking about with creating a lead, or creating a notification in Click for when a lead starts up, like when a lead is sent into CRM.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep, you're right.
Okay, so you recommended all leads, and then notify via Click. and before this window didn't show up when I first opened it up, but now it is working.
So it's okay now?
It's working now. Yeah.
Okay, very good, very good. In
Yeah.
the message,
Do you
by
want me
the
to
way,
finish?
yeah, sure, go ahead.
Do you want me to finish this?
Yeah.
Okay. So have a new lead from
That's right.
first name, last name,
Very good.
and then phone number, email, and phone number.
Very good.
And phone. So one thing that I'm wondering is, like, should I put in both the main phone and the mobile phone, because a lot of people won't put their main phone, or is that just something that I have to make sure gets forced into the main phone?
99% of the times you will just click on the click notification and it will take you to the lead.
Okay.
So I don't know if you need all the information, but some of it is good to identify the person.
Yeah, this is what you recommended first, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. And then where does this notify goes to users?
Yes. And then you select the salesperson.
The salesperson.
That's right. Exactly.
And that's it.
Yep.
So anything else that I need to do from this point?
Create a new lead.
Create a new lead. Okay. Well, do you want me to show that?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. Click on save, but click on save first, because without saves, we won't get far.
Okay. And then I'm going to just create a new lead. So,
okay.
Create a new lead. And my lead guy's name is Testy.
Oh, I know him. I have also one of these.
And the email is, I don't really even need to do the rest.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Up to you. Test and so on.
Yeah. Save it. So now
you see on the bottom?
I see on the bottom.
Yep.
I have a new lead from Testy Stesterson.
And if you click on view record, it will take you to the lead.
Where's the view record?
It's on the message.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, if you have your Zoho CRM application on your mobile phone and you click on the click message, it will open the CRM on the right record.
Oh, hold on. Let me check that.
Very cool.
So I've got CRM on it, but not Click. So
just install Click and then the notification coming also to your phone.
Perfect. That's great.
So if you opt to disconnect from work, it won't happen.
Yeah. Wow. That's great. Okay. I think that covers it.
Okay. Very good. Have a good one.
Thank you so much. Right,
no problem. Okay. I'm confused. Some modules, for example, you once suggested that the company is an account. Should I change company to account? So in the regular system, this is a modified system that we worked on. This field, account name, in your system will say company. And the idea is that you punch in the company name here, and whenever you're doing the conversion, you will see that a new account will be created from company to account. Now, for most people, including myself, I would say, this is a bit confusing. Is it an account or is it a company? I don't know. So what we did in this system, we used the translation system to override the name company to account name. So in the lead system, you will see account name, and when it's converted, the account name will be converted into account. And that all makes sense. Now, in some cases, people will use the account name for a company, and that will be a business-to-business transactions. For example, I am selling now an iPhone to LG, which is a company. Then LG will be the company that will be here. Okay, so the account name will be LG. Eddie Murphy will be a person that works at LG. And this is really the relationship. Now, once the lead will get converted, it will convert it to an account. And in the account, you will have a contact, one or more, that's connecting to this specific person, to this specific company. Okay, so you can have one or more. And this is really the relationship. So I hope I was able to answer it, Brad. And let me know if it's not clear. You have another question about vendors. Also, you said that the vendor takes money. So in this case, do I select that within the company or account module? Good question. The accounts will be entities. It might be families. It might be companies. Think about the account like a bucket that contains contacts. This bucket, the accounts, bucket of people that are giving you money, those will be the accounts. Okay, so the accounts will be companies or families, or it doesn't matter what, but it's a group of individuals that are giving you money, that are buying services from you. Might be they are buying products, buying services, giving you referral fee. It might be anything that you are getting money from the outside into your company. The vendors on the other side, the vendors will be a group of people that you are paying to. You are giving them your money. And the vendor is identical to the account. The vendors are companies or group of contacts that are getting money from you, that you are paying them. If you will look at an individual contact, the individual contact will have vendor name and account name. The account name, in this case, this contact is connected to someone that is paying me. And in the other way, if Louis Armstrong was someone that I need to pay to, it would be a vendor and not an account. And the vendor name will be the company that Louis is working for. Okay, I hope it makes sense. And if not, I will be more than happy to explain more. And you're asking if I can hear you. No, my friend, I cannot hear you. Sorry. So, Brad, I just redo the mic permission. Let's see if that works for you.
Yeah, now you can hear me. Can you hear me now?
Perfect. How are you today?
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was operator error. I don't think I saw the permission at the top. So
no problem.
What you're saying then is that even though there is a field in company / account that says vendor, I should actually create use the module called vendors only for vendors.
Correct. This is a bit confusing, and this is why it took more time to explain it. It's a very common problem. I remember that I was messing up with it for a long time. The vendor and the accounts will be companies, okay? And the contact will be connected to one of those companies, or a vendor or an account.
Right. So in reality then, to the first question, I should change the module name from companies to account, in addition to using the module called vendors specifically for vendors.
That's what I did here. Yes, that's exactly what we did here. In those systems we're selling them, right? So we just want to reduce confusion, so we just rename it to account name instead of company.
Okay, so that would also be the case if it was if I was selling a piece of real estate. The real estate would be the account name, or the address or whatever I use to identify that.
Is it a commercial or residential?
Would probably most likely be residential.
If it's residential, I usually use the account name as the family name. So that will be, in this case, the Murphy family.
Right, but how would you identify that if it's a buyer or a seller? It could be, you don't know.
It doesn't matter, because at that point, when it's just a lead, I just want to see if there is business here. If the
Right.
person is a buyer and is planning to buy a house for $50,000, probably it's not going to move forward from a lead,
No.
right? So the lead process for me is just to identify if this is an opportunity or not.
Okay, but take it one step further. If they are somebody that you're doing business with or have a relationship with, whether they're a contact or a company or a vendor, you would go through the same processes.
Almost. If this is someone that wants to buy something from me, it will start as a lead and then will be converted to an opportunity. But
Okay.
if the person is a vendor, the vendor will never start as a lead. The
Right.
idea of a lead is giving me money.
Correct. I got
Right?
that part.
So if it's a vendor, let's say a carpenter in your case, I will create here the vendor company name, the Carpenters Inc., and then I would assign a contact to this specific vendor.
Right.
Okay, so it's just, you have two sides of the equation. One, people that give you money, the other one, people that taking money from you or
Okay.
your clients.
Right. So opportunity is getting money and vendors are giving money.
Yes, my friend, you're right.
You did that well. You could do this for a living.
I will think about it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hey, Lior, do you have much experience working with insurance and financial advisors? You created a real estate CRM. Have you done the same for insurance? Yes, so I did lots of work for insurance brokers, both for cars and also for life insurance. And also we did lots of work with financial advisors. Yes.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you, Gary?
Great. I'm great, man. Lior, I gotta say, I love you, man. You're great. I don't even know who you are. I've been
Thank you,
searching.
sir. Thank you.
I got Zoho years ago. I bought it because it was cheap and it was a great program. I have my other company has Salesforce running in the background, so I actually have to keep Zoho because I'm independent advisor, so I need to keep
Yep.
2 platforms running because I need to make sure that in case I decide to leave that vendor, I'm still not out of business.
Very
And then,
smart. Very, very smart.
yeah, until if I'd have known you 3 years ago, then I would have probably left them by now. But I'm now stuck here, and I need your services. So that's why I downloaded I went online with your program and learned some stuff. So my first question is,
Thank you,
very
sir.
much for
Thank
that
you.
last video on the telemarketing,
Yes.
because finally, you actually added that as a value add. That was fantastic. That what you showed.
So this feature, right?
Yeah, your last video on how to do it, because I tried. I'm sitting here up 3 o'clock in the morning trying to learn these blueprints because I've hired people to do some calls and they did it the wrong way.
How that worked for you?
Oh man, it took about 8 hours to finally get it the first time. A couple more rum and cokes, and then I got it the second time.
No,
And then
but
you added
how
this
it
one.
worked for you, paying lots of money to people to do it for you?
It stings. It stings. So I need to get the source. So yeah, I'm gonna contact your company and get it done right one time.
But were you able to figure out yourself by the video?
Yes and no, because you have to use your training system works great. That's a fantastic foundation, and
Thank
then
you.
you have to search in your own archives for some more stuff on because what you did was you created the foundation and then you added some other little links that are necessary, and so I kind of got it missed. I missed out because you have to search rich records. I made the mistake of entering all my data into wrong areas. I thought they were going to be households first or in the
I
accounts
see.
first. Then I said, oops, the wrong place. So then I had to take them all out. I realized that I needed to put name, address, phone number. So you really have to know you really have to know upfront what you're doing, exactly what you said in your systems. You have to know what you're doing first before you start entering any information in here, because you can get lost pretty quickly. And in fact, I used the forms. I hired a guy to use the Zoho forms to reach out to all my clients to enter the data. But I didn't have the data. What I didn't do is I didn't link the CRM data.
For the know your client part or
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
Well, it was actually for service. I did this in February. I sent out a letter to my 1,000 clients, asking them to respond to, if there's anything new happening in their life.
That's
It was
right.
basically a little questionnaire. But because I don't have the manpower to call all my clients, I wanted the ones who really wanted my services to reach out to me. Now, so I hired somebody to actually then be proactive, because I got maybe of the 1,000 that I sent out, like maybe 30 people contacted, and that was fine. But I really need to know all of them. So I actually hired somebody, but I didn't add them to the CRM as a user.
Wait, from 1,000, 30 responded?
Yeah.
The
Yeah, to
delivery, you have a problem in your system. The number's not adding up. Check your deliverability system.
No, it wasn't an email. See, that's the thing. I actually did what you did when you in your training system that said for you to contact Zoho I sent the exact template that you said, and Zoho emails me back saying, what exactly were you looking for? And I said, look, I copied and pasted exactly the letters that you wrote, and they said, you don't need that. You don't need to have the email deliverability until you're really needing it, or it was just a mess. I just said, you know what, you guys, either they didn't want to answer the question, or they didn't know how to answer the question.
Just drop us an email.
Yeah.
And we will help you with Zoho. We don't even charge for it. Just drop us an email and we will connect you with Zoho. Doesn't make sense. For 1,000 emails, you need to get, if it's your clients, you should get at least 20% response minimum.
Yeah, and I misspoke. I didn't use the system to reach out. I used mailing. We mailed these letters out, and
mail, like physical mail.
Yeah, once a year, because the mail was the call to action piece to get their emails, to get their up to date information. Because the company that I work with, large company, has a lot of clients, but people don't keep in contact because they pay their bills, they pay their premiums.
Right, but they forget about you.
Yeah, well, they don't have their cell phone, they don't have their new email, and so I did this as I spent the money to send them all out, and so then the people who didn't contact me, I wanted to reach out and ask the question. So I used the Zoho forms, and I sent the link to this employee for them to log on with their computer, use the Zoho forms, and then manually add their names and phone numbers of the list of the people that I contacted, because I didn't want to give him access to the CRM, because I don't want my information getting out there, right?
Of course.
So that was kind of tough, because then in the forms I didn't go through all the training, and I didn't know that you need to link that data to the CRM.
So now you have in the forms all the information.
Yes, I have 1,000 information in the forms, and you cannot. It's a mess. So anyway, the data's there, and I don't mind, because I can always cut and paste this. I'll get my daughter to do it over the summer. But really what I need you to do is have this thing started again. But question I want to ask you is this, specifically the Ring.io system, because that is beautiful from what I saw. It answers all the questions. Is there any way to show this? And if I log in, you get a compensation for it. I have no problem with that, of course, but can you just show how it kind of works again? Is it possible? I don't want to monopolize too much of anybody's time here, but
it's good. I think you are the last one that asking a question. Actually, we have Basil, so let's do it quick. Let me see if I can share. Can you see my Ring.io?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so we're using Ring.io is our system. We used before Aircall, but it didn't serve us well. So with Ring.io, First of all, what I like about it that it's the system is completely disconnected from Zoho. So it's a separated piece that I can use with Zoho or also with other systems. So if I go, for example, to a website, I can click on the phone number, it dials with Ring.io. Now, when you have SMS or emails, everything can be done from this dialer. So here you will see a list of SMS that you exchange with this person. If you click on this small link, it will open the CRM record. So the dialer becoming a tool that you can use, right?
Is the SMS a service I have to buy through my
No,
something else?
it's part of the system. It's all built in.
But the phone number, whose number is that number?
So this is the number that basically Ring.io gives you, and this number becoming both for SMS and phone calls.
Okay. So on the SMS, when you send an SMS, how will the person know that it's your number? Is that because do you integrate that with your current? I have my own telephone numbers for my company, so I'm saying if I use SMS, if they reply to that number, it goes to I can add it to the record, or how do you?
But your phone number, is it just a phone number, or it's a Twilio or something like that?
Right. It's a service I got through not Ring Central. Fongo. It was a Fongo number, which doesn't. No.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, I know. You know, Fongo works anyway. So it's a number. It's a number I own. And then I also have my personal.
Maybe you can ask them if there is a way to send SMS using their number, using webhooks or something like that.
Otherwise, you get a number from Ring.io, though, right? And then that number is yours.
Yeah, Ring.io or a different company, doesn't matter. But you will have a number that will just be with you, and this is your number.
Okay.
And when you go with Ring.io or any other company, doesn't matter. Just make sure that this number is yours.
Yes.
So if one day you want to go to a different company, they won't hold you as hostage, which this is the scam in this industry. Lots of companies will give you some kind of a solution. And once you're starting to become, people know your number, then you want to move to a different company because it's not a good solution anymore. Like we had Aircall and we moved to Ring.io. If you cannot port your number, my friend, you're screwed.
Yeah. That's exactly what see. You got to protect that. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So
you guys can help with all this stuff. Your company.
Yeah. We do it every day.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'll just make an appointment and we'll start the ball rolling here.
Fantastic. And from this conversation, what I think that everybody needs to get from it, when you're working in a place as an advisor and the company is giving you their own CRM. Yeah. Always have a secondary CRM that will host your data. We got a client, I will not say his name, but he was you have those multi-level systems that you bring more agents and they below you and you build your own tree inside the financial institution. And he built a huge team of lots of people. We helped him for years to grow the team. And I always told him that he needs to have his own system, because if one day comes and the company will get rid of him for some reason, he is losing his tree. He's losing all the data, the clients and everything. And the day came and he lost the entire data. So no more clients. All the clients were inherited to his upline, the person above him. And he's starting from scratch after many years in the business. So you do need to have your own CRM, your own data, even if your company gives you one. So that's, I think, the biggest take from this conversation.
Absolutely. No, I agree 100%.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you very much for the kind words. Thank you. Can you update CRM from forms after I manually edit the record? No. So when you have Zoho CRM, Zoho form. Okay, so let's say that I have some forms here, or I have no forms here, but anyway, when you have forms being sent to Zoho CRM and you're editing them manually on the forms system, you cannot resend them again to Zoho CRM. This is not doable. Okay, very good. So guys, thank you very much for being with me today. And I hope you enjoyed the session. I think there were some good insights from different people that showed up in the session. So I think it was cool. Thank you very much. See you next week. Bye-bye.